Good morning! So, for today, yung ating recap, dinivide ko na lang siya para madali i-upload. Kamusta na po ang review natin? Sana nakakasunod kayo. Unahin muna natin yung clinical chemistry. So, be familiar with the different parts of the spectrophotometer, the light source, the monochromator or the wavelength selector, the cuvette which holds the solution, the photodetector which converts light energy to electrical energy, and the readout device. Of this, huwag kakalimutan yung monochromator or wavelength selector. Katulad na mention natin, ano ba yung function ng monochromator? It produces light of a specific wavelength. Another photometric technique, we have fluorometry. Ano po yung mga mini-measure by fluorometry? Yung mga compound na nag-emit ng light in response sa ating light source. Ito po yung type ng instrument na gumagamit ng dalawang monochromator. Yung second monochromator is positioned at 90-degree angle from the first monochromator para wag niya ma-read or wag niya makuha yung light coming from the light source, only yung light emitted by the compound. Katulad po ng na-mention natin, ano po yung mga compound na mini-measure by fluorometry. Ito po yung mga compound na nag-emit ng light in response sa ating light source. Huwag kakalimutan, ano po yung nature ng light emitted by the compound compared sa exciting light. Yung light emitted by the compound is of longer wavelength, therefore of lower energy compared sa ating exciting lights. Longer wavelength and of lower energy. Another, huwag kakalimutan yung mga analytes affected when pumping the fish during venipuncture. Increased potassium, increased lactic acid, increased calcium, increased phosphorus, but decrease in pH. Tourniquet, application of the tourniquet shall not exceed 1 minute or 60 seconds. Prolonged application of the tourniquet is associated with increased potassium, increased total protein, increased lactic acid. Of course, hindi rin po acceptable yung mga hemolyze sample sa ClinChem. Increased potassium, increased magnesium, increased phosphorus, LD, ESD, iron, and ammonia. Na-mention po natin ang lead poisoning. Remember, for lead poisoning, ano yung preferred sample? Whole blood. Ano pong stopper ng tube ang gamit for determination ng lead? Tanner stopper, kasi among the tube, ito yung tube na pinaka-konti ang amount ng lead. Kung maalala niyo po sa red cell naman, or sa hima, anong hinahanap sa red cell in case of lead poisoning? Basophilic stippling. Again, for lead determination, preferred sample is whole blood. Anong collection tube? Tan stopper na tube. Anong anticoagulant? EDTA. Another for urea, enzymatic assay for urea. Ano pong mini-measure dito? Disappearance of NAD at 340 nanometer. For determination of urea, hindi pwedeng gumamit ng fluoride anticoagulant because fluoride inhibit the urease enzyme. Ano naman po yung antibiotic that interfere with the Jaffe reaction for determination of creatinine? Cephalosporin. Yung mga patient receiving cephalosporin may have an elevated creatinine when Jaffe reaction is used. Monitoring of ammonia. can be used for patients with hepatic encephalopathy. Cardiac troponins, gold standard for acute myocardial reaction or acute coronary syndrome. Kapag na-mention po ang myocardial infarction, huwag kakalimutan po yung palatandaan natin na may tropical. First analyte to be elevated in myocardial infarction is myoglobin, followed by troponin, and yung mga enzyme CK, EST, and LD. First enzyme to be elevated is CK, pero pag malilito, pag tinanong po tayo, first analyte to be elevated in myocardial infarction is myoglobin, pero elevation of myoglobin is non-specific. Kaya nga pag tinanong gold standard test for acute coronary syndrome, myocardial infarction, the troponins. Another cross-linked C-telepeptide is a marker for bone resorption. Fetal fibronectin is important for the diagnosis and prediction of preterm delivery. After a meal, turbid or milky po ang plasma. Ano po yung responsible sa postprandial lipemia? Chylomicrons. Pag wala pong chylomicrons, pwede pong lipoprotein. Ang membrane that shows selectivity for potassium is valinomycin. Syndrome of inappropriate ADH secretion. Lilinawin ko lang po mababa po dito yung sodium hyponatremia. Mababa din po dito ang serum or plasma osmolality. Therefore, increase ang urine osmolality. In syndrome of inappropriate ADH production, hypoosmolar hyponatremia. Mababang sodium, mababang plasma osmolality, pero increase po ang urine osmolarity. Low plasma sodium, normal plasma osmolality, dalawa po yung pwedeng explanation dito. Number 1, pseudohyponatremia due to increased protein, increased lipid. Ano pong apektado dito? Yung mga method na dinadilute ang serum, flame photometry, indirect ISC. So ano pong pinaka-remedy dito? Direct ISC. Pero hindi po lahat ng situation na mababa ang sodium normal osmolality ay pseudohyponatremia. Baka naman this can be indicative of acute hyperglycemia. So pwede rin po dito na remedy na to check for the glucose. Serum sodium decreases by 1.6 millimole per liter for every 100 mg per deciliter rise in serum glucose. Huwag pong kakalimutan yung formula to compute for the transferrin saturation when given the TIBC and unsaturated ion binding capacity. To compute for TIBC, so i-add po yung unsaturated ion binding capacity and serum iron. And to compute for the transferrin saturation, serum iron over the TIBC times 100. So when given this value, serum iron is 18 and unsaturated ion binding capacity is 36. So how do we compute for the transferrin saturation? Value of serum iron over the TIBC. To compute for the TIBC, unsaturated ion binding capacity plus serum iron. So to compute for transferrin saturation, yung sagot po dito times 100. So ang sagot po natin dito ay 33%. A cofactor for more than 300 enzyme, pwede pong magnesium, pwede pong zinc. So, in PCO2, paano mini-measure ang carbon dioxide, pH, Yung PCO2 electrode is actually a pH electrode. A change in pH is expected because increased carbonic acid in the electrolyte surrounding the electrode. Yung PCO2 electrode is actually a pH electrode. Anong minimeasure po nito? Change in pH. HER2, human epidermal growth receptor 2, is a marker for breast, ovarian, and gastrointestinal cancer. So kung maaalala nyo yung HER, this can be used to monitor patient receiving treatment for breast cancer. Ano po yung mga different tests for HER determination? Immunohistochemistry, FISH, fluorescence in situ, hybridization, and ELISA. PSA. Ano po yung situation na elevated? Ang PSA in prostatic cancer, pero hindi lang po ito elevated in prostatic cancer, but also elevated in prostatic inflammation, prostate hypertrophy, transurethral prostate resection, or prostate biopsy. Procainamide, this can be used to treat cardiac arrhythmia. Ang metabolite of procainamide is NAPA. Huwag kakalimutan, may patient nag-exhibit ng toxic effect ng procainamide, pero sa blood or serum walang detectable na procainamide. So ano pong explanation dito? Baka yung procainamide ay nag-metabolize na. So anong pinaka-remedy po dito? Measure NAPA. Ang NAPA po is a metabolite of procainamide. Same po with primidone. Ang primidone is an anticonvulsant, anti-epileptic. It can be used to treat seizure. The two metabolites of primidone are phenobarbital and phenylethylmalonamide. So, yung patient nag-exhibit ng toxic effect ng primidone. So, anong pwede natin gawin? Pwede po natin i-measure ang phenobarbital kasi ang phenobarbital is a metabolite of primidone. Benzoyl and guanine, metabolite of cocaine. Lead screening, whole blood is preferred. Tanostopper na tube, anong anticoagulant EDTA? Sa red cell, ano pong hinahanap natin? In lead poisoning, basophilic stippling. PCR is an example of a target amplification method. Greatest error in PCR is contamination. Because PCR is so sensitive, small amount of extracted nucleic acid or carryover of amplicons from previous PCR assay can contaminate future PCR assay and may result in false positive result. So, error in PCR is sa mga error in PCR is contamination. Delta check, comparison of patient data with previous result. Coefficient of variation, how do we compute for CV? Standard deviation divided by the mean. So, yung sagot po dito, times 100. The smaller the standard deviation, the smaller the CV, ibig sabihin, mas precise po yung method. Trend, control values, increasing or decreasing for 6 consecutive run. Ano po ang primary cause ng trend or main cause of trend? Deterioration of reagent. Kapag naman po na-mention yung shift, 6 consecutive values on the same side of the mean. Remember, anong main cause ng shift? Improper calibration of instrument. Hanggang dito po muna. Salamat po ulit. So for continuation ng ating discussion, this time sa micro naman po. Ideal CSF storage is 37 degrees Celsius. Alam ko po, sa CM nadaanan po natin yung tube number 2, CSF tube number 2 is for micro. Na-mention po ni stress enjoy na room temperature. Pwede po yun provided not more than 30 minutes. If over 30 minutes, it is ideally stored at what temperature? 37. Sputum, early morning sputum, na-concentrate po yung mga bacteria. Mas preferred po yung early morning sputum, pero hindi kagad po nag-culture ng sputum. Dapat po nating malaman, acceptable po ba to for culture? Ano yung acceptable sputum for culture? Less than 10 epithelial cells per low power field. Hindi po tayo nagko-culture ng 10 or more epithelial cell. Ibig pong sabihin, pag ganun, saliva po yung nakulat nyo. And hindi tayo nagko-culture ng saliva. To be specific, less than 10 epithelial cell per low power field and greater than 25 PMNs per low power field. Inuulit ko po, acceptable sputum sample, less than 10 epithelial cell per low power field, greater than 25 PMNs per low power field. Pagka-prepare ng smear, pagka-apply ng steam, check po ito for AFB in 300 fields. So, bago po mag-report ng negative, dapat nakapag-screen po tayo ng at least how many oil immersion field? 300 oil immersion field. Mueller-Hinton agar used for sensitivity testing, agar depth of 3 to 5 mm and average of 4 mm. Hindi po pwedeng mas manipis sa 3 mm or mas makapal sa 5 mm. Kapag mas manipis po sa 3 mm, magdi-diffuse talaga po yung antibiotic. Yung organism, falsely sensitive, larger zone of inhibition. Kapag thicker than 5 mm yung antibiotics, hindi naman po magdi-diffuse. So yung organism falsely resistant as smaller zone of inhibition. Another, we have the D-zone test. It is a test for inducible clindamycin resistance. Kailan po tayo nagpo-perform nito? Kapag ang initial result sa Mueller-Hinton agar, resistant to erythromycin, sensitive to clindamycin. Totoo po, magkaiba po silang antibiotic. Pero, although magkaibang antibiotic, in-expect na same ang result ng erythromycin at saka clindamycin. So, kapag resistant po to erythromycin, dapat resistant din po to clindamycin. Kailan po tayo nagpo-perform ng D-zone test? Kapag yung organism ay resistant to erythromycin but sensitive to clindamycin. Papaano po ito? So, sa Mueller-Hinton agar, mag-strict ng organism at mag-add ng dalawang antibiotics, erythromycin and clindamycin. After incubation, ano po yung positive result for inducible clindamycin resistance? Zone of inhibition na anong shape? Letter D. So, ano po yung another question dito? What antibiotic induces clindamycin resistance? Ang sagot po natin doon ay erythromycin. Una, kailan ka nagpo-perform ng D-zone test? Kapag ang organism resistant to erythromycin but sensitive to clindamycin. Test for inducible clindamycin resistance, the D-zone test. Another, what antibiotic induces clindamycin resistance? Ang sagot naman po natin doon ay erythromycin. Another, we have the modified Hodge test. It is a test to determine production of carbapenems enzyme. Nako, alarming po to. Kasi ang mga carbapenems, sila po yung last resort of antibiotic for Enterobacteriaceae. Resulting growth pattern in the modified Hodge test appear as clover leaf-like indentation. Again, carbapenem, last antibiotic for Enterobacteriaceae. Ano pong mga halimbawa nito? Yung mga antibiotic na may mga penem sa dulo. Imipenem, meropenem, doripenem. Malditoff MS for matrix-assisted laser desorption ionization time of life. It is a technology used for rapid identification of microorganisms. Microbial identification can be accomplished in minutes from isolated colonies. Once na nabili na po yung instrument, Yung MALDI-TOF analysis is of very low cost. Rapid identification of organism. Second, low cost. Pero ano yung isa sa mga disadvantage nito? Kailangan pa rin po natin ng colonies, meaning kailangan pa rin po natin mag-culture. Ano mga tatandaan sa MALDI-TOF MS? Rapid identification of microorganism. Identification can be done within minutes from isolated colonies. Once the instrument has been purchased, MALDI-TOF analysis is of very low cost. A known microorganism from a selected colony or process culture bottle, preparation of target weight, generation of MALDI-TOF, profile spectrum, interpretation of data, and identification of organism. Hindi lang po ito ginagamit for identification of organism, pero pwede rin pong gamitin for sensitivity testing. Rapid identification. Identification can be accomplished within minutes, very low cost, pero kailangan pa rin po nating mag-isolate ng colonies, kailangan pa rin po mag-culture. Chromo-agar or chromogenic agar from the word chromo, which means color. Dito po sa right may mga pictures po tayo ng chromogenic agar. These are agar that produces predictable colored colonies, organism properties such as the production of particular enzyme will react with the substrate in the agar to produce colored colonies. Colistin nalidixic agar or Columbia CNA agar. Now, this agar can be used for the recovery of gram-positive organisms, for example, Staphylococcus aureus. Na-mention po ni Sir Clarence yung mga differentiation ng Micrococcus and Staphylococcus. Just a review, ang Micrococcus, they are obligated rope, they are glucose oxidizer, they are positive for the modified oxidase test. Yung mga Staphylococcus, they are facultative anaerobe, negative for the modified oxidase test, and are glucose fermenter. Pero wag din sana pong kakalimutan yung sensitivity or resistance nila to furazolidone between the two. Which one is resistant to furazolidone? Micrococcus. Which one is sensitive to furazolidone? Staphylococcus. MECA gene codes for oxacillin or methicillin resistance in Staphylococci, and penicillin binding protein is the MECA gene product. MRSA, so ano po yung gene na responsible dito? MECA gene. Again, it codes for oxacillin or methicillin resistance in Staphylococci. Ano po yung drug of choice for MRSA? Vancomycin. For accurate detection of MECA, mediated oxacillin resistance in routine microbrot dilution susceptibility test, ano pong pwedeng gamitin dito? Cefoxitin. Cefoxitin for accurate detection of MECA-mediated oxacillin or methicillin resistance in routine broth microdilution susceptibility testing for Staphylococcus aureus. Kanina po na-mention ko na yung mga MRSA, drug of choice for MRSA, vancomycin. Alarming kapag yung staff ay nag-exhibit ng sensitivity to vancomycin. So, ano pong pwede natin gawin dito? MIC broth dilution test. It should be performed to determine the susceptibility of all isolate of Staphylococci to vancomycin. So, for confirmation, pwede po tayo mag-perform ng MIC broth dilution test. Staphylococcus bovis, they are associated with colorectal cancer and adenoma. Nung araw po, ang tawag po natin dito, group D non-enterococcus. Sino po yung mga representative nito? S. bovis, S. equinus, galolyticus, Dati po itong Group D, non-Enterococcus, blood agar, pwedeng gamma hemolytic or alpha hemolytic, but Escherichian positive. Pero paano po i-differentiate sa Group D Enterococcus? They are PY-RIS negative and they will exhibit growth in the presence of 6.5% sodium chloride. Streptococcus bovis, associated with colorectal cancer and adenoma. Organism under this group, aside from S. bovis and S. equinus, S. galileticus. Leuconostoc, gram-positive cocci, para pong mga strep, pero paano po i-differentiate sa mga strep? Negative for LAP, sa micro po yung LAP leucine, aminopeptidase, negative, vancomycin resistant. Yung mga strep po, they are vancomycin sensitive. Yung mga enterococcus, they are also vancomycin resistant, but they are LAP positive. So, leuconostoc, to differentiate it from the strep, LAP negative, vancomycin resistant. They are often recovered from positive neonatal blood culture resulting from colonization during delivery. Septic shock, they are associated with endotoxin. Kung endotoxin po ito, sino pong producer ng endotoxin? Yung mga gram-negative bacteria. MUG test, it is a test for glucuronidase enzyme. Sino pong positive dito? Si E. coli. Positive result for the MUG test is electric blue. Electric blue fluorescence. Another, biochemically, Citrobacter may resemble Salmonella, but how will you differentiate Citrobacter from Salmonella, an intestinal pathogen? Unlike Citrobacter, yung mga Salmonella, they are positive for lysine decarboxylation, but OMPG negative because they are non-fermenter of lactose, not able to grow in the presence of potassium cyanide. On the other hand, yung mga Citrobacter, LDC negative, ONPG positive, and will exhibit growth in the presence of potassium cyanide. But how can we differentiate Salmonella, an intestinal pathogen, Citrobacter, an intestinal microflora? ESBL, yung mga ibang Enterobacteriaceae po ay producer ng extended spectrum beta-lactamase, therefore resistant sa mga beta-lactam antibiotic, particularly to penicillin, cephalosporin, and aztreonam. Yung mga ESBL producing Enterobacteriaceae are resistant to penicillin, cephalosporin, and aztreonam. For detection of ESBL producing Enterobacteriaceae, ESBL or inhibited by clavulanic acid. So, confirmatory, enhance an activity of beta-lactam antibiotic when it is tested in the presence of clavulanic acid compared to the activity of beta-lactam antibiotic when tested alone. So, ESBL are inhibited by clavulanic acid. They can be used to confirm the presence of ESBL-producing Enterobacteriaceae. Carbapenem-resistant Enterobacteriaceae, occasionally C or E or resistant to all antibiotic. Carbapenem, according sa nabasa ko, last treatment for Enterobacteriaceae. So, presence of C or E or a threat to public health. Yersinia, remember, ang mga Enterobacteriaceae, they are all motile with a Peritrichus flagella except for Kleb and Shigella. Now, at 37 degrees Celsius, in addition to Kleb and Shigella, isa pa po yung non-motile Yersinia. Pero paano mo i-differentiate ang Yersinia enterocolytica from Yersinia pestis? Lahat po sila ay motile at room temp. Except for Yersinia pestis, non-motile at 37, non-motile at room temperature, unlike Enterocolytica, which is non-motile at 37, but motile at room temperature. Phenylalanine deaminase, this is a helpful way for differentiating PPM from other Enterobacteriaceae. Sino po yung PPM natin? Proteus providentia morganella. Paano niyo po i-differentiate si Proteus from providentia and morganella? When drawn on blood agar plate, yung mga colonies po nito ay nag-exhibit ng swarming phenomenon. At huwag kakalimutan, ang mga Proteus, they are H2S positive unlike providentia and morganella. Pero paano mo po i-differentiate si Proteus vulgaris from Proteus mirabilis? The indole test. Which one is indole positive? Proteus vulgaris, indole negative, Proteus mirabilis. Again, indole positive, Proteus vulgaris, indole negative, Proteus mirabilis. But how can we differentiate morganella from providentia? Ang mga morganella po are aerogenic. Ang mga providentia po ay non-aerogenic or unaerogenic. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagpuproduce ng gas. Ang mga morganella citrate negative, providentia citrate positive, ODC positive ang mga morganella. Ornithine decarboxylase, providentia, ODC negative. Paano po ulit? Ang mga morganella, they are gas positive, citrate negative, ODC positive, providentia are gas negative, citrate positive, ODC negative. Respiratory infection in patient with cystic fibrosis. Nakita niyo po dito yung tatlong organism or tatlong example ng organism causing respiratory infection in patient with cystic fibrosis. Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Burkholderia cepacia, Stenotrophomonas maltophilia. Pangalan pa lang, Stenotrophomonas maltophilia, oxidizer of maltose. Paano po i-differentiate ang Pseudomonas aeruginosa from the tree? Ang Pseudomonas, it is oxidase positive and will exhibit growth at 42 degrees Celsius. Pseudomonas cepacia or Burkholderia cepacia, dahil Pseudomonas oxidase positive, but unlike Pseudomonas aeruginosa, it does not exhibit growth at 42 degrees Celsius. Remember, sino lang po yung Pseudomonas that will exhibit growth at 42 degrees Celsius? Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Paano naman po i-differentiate si Stenotrophomonas maltophilia from Pseudomonas aeruginosa and cepacia? Unlike the two Pseudomonas, si maltophilia po is oxidase negative. And the organism appear to have a lavender green pigment. Pasteurella, a gram-negative bacilli which can be acquired from cat bite or cat scratch. They can result from a variety of animal bite. They often occur as a result of cat bites. Pasteurella. Iba po ito sa cat scratch disease. Pag naman na-mention yung cat scratch disease, sino po ang tatandaan po dito? Si Bartonella henselae at saka Apipiofelis. Cat bite or cat scratch, Pasteurella. Cat scratch disease, Bartonella henselae, Apipiofelis. Legionella. Although yung mga Legionella are associated with respiratory infection, remember for culture, pwede tayo mag-culture ng sputum and bronchial wash. But rapid test for Legionella, the urine antigen test. For anaerobic blood agar media, it should contain sheep blood, vitamin K, and hemine. Ano pong purpose ng vitamin K? Ang vitamin K is required for some porphyromonas, hemine. It enhances the growth of bacteroides and sheep blood for detection of hemolysis. Clostridium perfringens causes gas gangrene or myonecrosis. Sporulated. Paano po dinescribe yung spore nito? Oval and subterminally located, pero yung spore nito, mahirap ma-demonstrate, usually absent. Kaya nga po, paano dinescribe ang appearance nito? Box core appearance. Ito po yung organism na magpo-produce ng double zone of hemolysis. Inner complete zone of hemolysis and outer zone of alpha or incomplete zone of hemolysis. Among the Clostridia, ito po yung pwedeng gamitin control sa lecithinase reaction kasi lecithinase positive, Clostridium perfringens. Corynebacterium JK yun. Gram-positive, non-spore-forming bacilli, non-motile. Alarming bakit? Because it is resistant to most antibiotic. Resistant to penicillin, cephalosporin, macrolides, aminoglycoside. But, buti na lang po, still sensitive to vancomycin. Resistant to many antibiotic, penicillin, cephalosporin, macrolides, aminoglycoside, but still sensitive to vancomycin. So, drug of choice for treatment is vancomycin. Erysipelotrix, huwag pong kakalimutan, ito po yung gram-positive bacilli na H2S positive. Ito po yung characteristic niya para ma-differentiate from other gram-positive bacilli. Causes erysipeloid, huwag pong malilito sa erysipelas. Pag erysipelas, streptococcus pyogenes po yun. Erysipeloid, inflammatory swelling of the fingers. Common po sa mga butcher, sa mga fish vendors. So, pag tinanong po tayo, causative agent of butcher's disease, erysipelotrix. Mycobacterium avium complex or Mycobacterium avium intracellulary complex. Alarming kasi increase ang incidence of infection sa mga patient na immunosuppressed. For example, yung mga patient with HIV. Interferon gamma release assay, a whole blood test for TB infection, but it is not useful to differentiate latent TB infection from TB disease. Unlike the PPD test, prior BCG vaccination is not a cause of a positive interferon gamma release assay. Molecular testing, commercial molecular tests are available to identify MKB complex directly from EFB smear positive respiratory sample on the same day that the smear was read. Ano pong halimbawa ng molecular test na test or nucleic acid amplification test for MTB? Same day reading of the smear. Actinomyces, a gram-positive non-spore-forming bacilli, when grown sa blood agar plate. Paano po dinescribe yung colonies nito? Molar tooth colonies. Kung matatandaan, ito rin po yung organism characterized by presence of sulfur granules, actinomyces. Mycoplasma pneumoniae, causative agent of primary atypical pneumonia. Bakit atypical pneumonia? Usually, pag bacterial pneumonia, may exudate. Now, this one, it is characterized by a dry cough, atypical for a bacterial pneumonia. Bakit naman po tinawag na walking pneumonia? Kasi yung patient dito, parang walang sakit, active pa rin, nagagawa pa rin po yung mga activities po niya. Huwag kakalimutan, Mycoplasma differs from other bacteria. Bakit? Wala po kasi itong cell wall. Effective ba dito yung penicillin or antibiotic that inhibit cell wall synthesis? Hindi. So, wag pong kakalimutan, Mycoplasma pneumoniae. Primary atypical pneumonia, walking pneumonia, it cannot be treated with penicillin or antibiotics that inhibit cell wall synthesis. Bakit? Kasi wala po itong cell wall. Mycology, blastoconidia, a sexual spore produced by simple budding. They develop as daughter cell buds from the mother cell. Blastoconidia or blastospores. Zygomycetes, unlike other fungi, aseptate yung hypha niya. Aseptate, walang division or walang crosswall. Under ng group na to, we have Rhizopus, Obsidia, and Mucor. Yung kay Rhizopus po, yung sporangiospores niya, ang tawag sporangiospores, sporangiophore, opposite ng sporangiophore, yung mga rhizoid, mga root-like structure. Sa mga Obsidia naman po, alternate, rhizoid, sporangiophore, rhizoid. Unlike yung sa mga Rhizopus, tapatan po yung sporangiophore at saka rhizoid. Yung sa Obsidia, alternating rhizoid, sporangiophore, rhizoid. Yung mga Mucor naman po, wala po silang rhizoid. Calcofluor white is a stain for fungi. It binds particularly to the cell wall of the fungi, cellulose and chitin in the fungal cell wall. Now, itong dye po na to fluoresces when exposed to UV light. Calcofluor white. Malassezia furfur, olive oil-loving fungi, causes tinea versicolor, a condition characterized by uneven pigmentation of the skin. It sometimes has a spaghetti and meatballs appearance. Culture media for Malassezia furfur must contain lipid, usually an olive oil. Olive oil-loving fungi, Malassezia furfur. Rotavirus, common cause of diarrhea, gastroenteritis among infants. Ang palagi pong question dito, anong pinaka-specimen for rotavirus tool? Ano mga tests for rotavirus? ELISA, latex agglutination. Common cause of diarrhea, gastroenteritis among infants, rotavirus. Specimen for rotavirus, stool sample. Biological safety cabinet. Sa discussion natin from Sir Clarence, na-mention yung 3 class of biological safety cabinet, class 1, class 2, and class 3. Sa tatlo, the one with the highest level of safety is class 3. Ano naman po yung common na ginagamit? Class 2. So, kung itatanungin po tayo, nasan po yung such level ng biological safety cabinet, ka-level po ng armpit or axilla. When working at the BSC, set your chair height so that your armpits are about the same height as the sash opening, and you can rest your elbow comfortably on the rest inside the hood. High efficiency particulate air filter, yung mga biological safety cabinet po may HEPA filter. It removes organism larger than 0.3 micrometer in diameter. Sino po ito? Yung mga bacteria, yung mga fungi, pero hindi po yung mga viruses. Yung mga viruses, because of their small size, can pass through this filter. HEPA filter. Salamat po, hanggang dito po muna ang ating diskusyon.